Let the quotas be doubled immediately.
He killed the most powerful empire on earth. He never commanded an army. He never sat on a throne. He did it with a staff, a stutter, and a God who refused to let him quit. His name was Moses. He started as a basket in a river. He ended as the most consequential human being who ever argued with the divine and won. This is not a story about miracles. This is a story about a man who spent 40 years running from who he was.
I wear their gold. I speak their language. Every morning go, I am still one of the ones outside.
Egypt, in the 13th century BCE, is the center of the known world. Not metaphorically, literally. Every road of consequence leads here. Every grain surplus, every military calculation, every diplomatic marriage in the ancient Near East tilts toward the banks of the Nile like grass leaning towards sunlight. The pyramids at Giza are already 1,000 years old by this point. They are not new wonders, they are ancient ones. And beneath the shadow of all this glory, in the wet clay of the delta, in the brick fields and the labor camps of a place called Goshen, 400 years of Hebrew slaves are keeping this empire alive with their hands. They have been here so long, they have almost forgotten they were ever anything else. Pharaoh is afraid. This is remarkable because Pharaoh is, by official theology, by state propaganda, by the decree of every priest in every temple from Memphis to Thebes, a god, a living god, the embodiment of Horus on earth. And gods are not supposed to be afraid. But the Hebrews are multiplying. That is the word the ancient text uses. Not growing, not increasing, multiplying. Like something biological, something the empire cannot fully calculate or contain. And an empire that cannot count its labor force cannot control it. So Pharaoh issues a decree, not quietly, not through back channels, publicly, formally, with the full weight of state authority behind it. Every Hebrew boy born, every single one, is to be thrown into the Nile. Not killed by soldiers, not taken away in the night, thrown into the river, as if they are not children, as if they are debris. The Nile, the source of all Egyptian life, the artery of the empire, the god-happy given liquid form, is to become a Hebrew graveyard. Into this moment, a woman named Jochebed gives birth to a son. The text says she looked at him and saw that he was tov, good, beautiful, fine. Mothers have always said this about their children.
But there is something in the way this word sits in the sentence that feels like more than maternal pride.
It feels like recognition, like she is seeing something the world has not yet been told. She hides him for 3 months. 3 months of feeding a baby in secret, of muffling his cries against her chest, of watching the door, of doing the impossible arithmetic of love versus survival. 3 months. Then she cannot hide him anymore.
They will not take my son.
So she builds him a boat. Not a boat, a basket, a teva, the same Hebrew word used for Noah's Ark. She puts her son in the river to save him from the river.
Do not follow it. Watch it from the reeds.
If someone finds him, Kali, come and tell me.
His sister Miriam, maybe 10 years old, maybe 12, stands at a distance to watch. There is no word in any language for what it costs a child to stand at a safe distance and watch her brother float away. Pharaoh's daughter comes to bathe in the Nile. We do not know her name with certainty. Later traditions call her Bithyia or Thermuthis. The text itself gives her no name. She is identified only by her father's power and her own mercy, which turns out to be the more important of the two. Her servants are walking along the bank when she sees the basket among the reeds. She opens it, and the baby, who has been floating in the dark, in the silence, in a sealed world of reed and pitch, cries. That cry lands in the chest of an Egyptian princess and breaks something open. This is one of the Hebrew babies, she says. She knows exactly what her father's law requires. She knows what this child is. She knows what holding him will cost her. She holds him anyway.
This child lives. You will tell no one what he is. He is mine now.
Pharaoh's daughter comes to bathe in the Nile. We do not know her name with certainty. Later traditions call her Bithyia or Thermuthis. This child who has been watching, this child who has been waiting. And she approaches the most powerful woman she has ever seen in her life with a question so audacious it could have ended badly in 100 different ways. Miriam runs and gets her mother. Jochebed stands before Pharaoh's daughter and is paid to nurse her own son. The cruelest empire in the ancient world has accidentally hired a Hebrew slave to raise the man who will destroy it. The universe sometimes has a dark sense of humor. When the boy is weaned, Jochebed brings him to the palace. He becomes the son of Pharaoh's daughter. She names him Moses, Moshe in Hebrew, a name she explains with a Hebrew pun, Ki min hamayim meshitihu, because I drew him out of the water. An Egyptian princess gives a Hebrew child a name rooted in Hebrew grammar. Or perhaps the name has Egyptian origins, Mosi, meaning son, as in Thutmose, Ahmose, Ramses. A child who belongs to two worlds before he can speak. Moses grows up inside the most sophisticated civilization on Earth. He learns to read hieroglyphs, to calculate flood cycles, to navigate the politics of a court where every gesture has a meaning and every alliance has a price. He eats at Pharaoh's table. He sleeps under a roof that required 10,000 men to build. And somewhere in the palace, in the part of himself he cannot quiet, he knows. He knows where he came from. Perhaps Jochebed told him during those nursing years, those years she was paid to love him in plain sight. Perhaps he saw something in his own face that didn't match the faces around him. He is 40 years old before it breaks him.
You go to the brick fields. I have seen you. You watch them.
I cannot stop going. I don't know what I'm looking for.
He goes out one day. The text uses that phrase almost casually. He went out to his people, and he sees an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. He looks around. He checks that no one is watching. He kills the Egyptian and buries him in the sand. This is not a hero's moment. This is a man's rage breaking the surface after 40 years of pressure. Unplanned, unrepeatable, immediately catastrophic. The next day, he goes out again, and he sees two Hebrews fighting each other. He tries to intervene, and the man in the wrong turns on him with a question that is really an accusation. Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian? Moses is afraid, not of the man, of what the man's knowledge means. Pharaoh hears about it. Pharaoh, who may be the man Moses grew up calling uncle or grandfather, or the closest Egyptian word for father, issues a death warrant for the man he raised. Moses runs. He has just lost everything. His identity, his home, his people, both of them in a single afternoon. He runs east, into the Sinai wilderness, into the silence, into the desert which does not care who he used to be. The Sinai wilderness is not nothing. It looks like nothing. Endless pale rock, flint plateaus, wadis that haven't held water in months. But it is a place where the absence of civilization forces something else to emerge. The desert strips away every constructed identity and leaves only the one you were born with. Moses sits down at a well in Midian.
exhausted, hunted, homeless, and watches as 7 women arrive to water their father's flocks. Before he can decide what kind of man he is anymore, shepherds come and drive the women away from the well. Moses stands up. He drives the shepherds away. He waters the women's flocks himself.
An Egyptian rescued us today. He drove away the shepherds and drew water for the whole flock.
Then where is he? Why did you leave the man? Call him. Let him come and eat.
He has been a prince. He has been a fugitive. And now, at a well in the middle of nowhere, he is still a man who cannot watch the powerful abuse the vulnerable and do nothing. Some things are deeper than identity. The women's father, Jethro, a priest of Midian, invites Moses to stay. Moses stays. He marries one of the daughters, Zipporah. She bears him a son he names Gershom. I have been a stranger in a foreign land.
He names his son after his own displacement. He is a man who cannot stop being haunted by where he doesn't belong. 40 years pass. 40 years of sheep, of silence, of learning the desert the way you can only learn it by walking it every day. Its moods, its water sources, its mountains, its indifference. Back in Egypt, Pharaoh dies. The Hebrews groan under their slavery. The text uses that word deliberately. Groan. Not cry, not weep. Groan. The sound a body makes when pain has gone so deep it bypasses language. Their cry rises up to heaven, and heaven, which has been silent for 400 years, answers.
Moses is on the far side of the wilderness, near a mountain the text calls Horeb or Sinai. The names blur together. When he sees it, a bush on fire. Not unusual in the desert. Dry scrub ignites, lightning strikes, but this bush is burning and not burning up. The fire is consuming nothing. It is fire that has forgotten the rules of fire. Moses says to himself, and the fact that the text records this interior moment is extraordinary, I will go over and see this strange sight. Why does the bush not burn up? He turns aside to look. That is the hinge of the entire story. That small act of curiosity. He could have kept walking. He could have noted the anomaly and moved on. But Moses turns aside. And the voice of God says, "Moses, Moses." He says, "Here I am." Here I am. 3 of the most loaded words in the Hebrew tradition. Abraham said them. Jacob said them. Now Moses, a man who is 80 years old, a man who has been hiding in the desert for 40 years, a man who killed someone and buried the body, says them too.
Take off your sandals, the voice says. The ground you are standing on is holy. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I have seen the suffering of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cry. I know their pain. And I am sending you. Moses says, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" This is not false modesty. This is a man doing genuine arithmetic. He is a murderer. He is a fugitive. He has been out of Egyptian politics for 40 years. He doesn't know who Pharaoh is, doesn't know the court, doesn't know the power dynamics. He hasn't spoken Hebrew fluently since childhood. He has a speech impediment. He is, by every measurable standard, the wrong person
for this assignment. God says,
be with you.
I will be with you. Moses says, what if they ask your name? What do I tell them?
Eye, Asher, Eye. I am who I am. Or, I will be what I will be. Or, I am the one who is. The verb to be, applied to itself, in a tense that blurs present and future into something language cannot quite hold. Tell them, I am has sent you. Moses is still not convinced. He argues. He asks for a sign. The staff becomes a snake. The snake becomes a staff. His hand turns leprous, then heals. He is given plagues as business cards. He tries one last objection. Lord, I am slow of speech. I stammer. I am not eloquent. Please send someone else. And for the first time in the conversation, God is angry. The text says it clearly. The anger of God burned against Moses. Who made your mouth? Who makes people deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I? Your brother Aaron speaks well. He will be your voice, but you, Moses, you will put the words in his mouth. A God who makes the stammerer his prophet. A God who uses the broken instrument on purpose. Moses goes back to Jethro. He says only, let me return to my people in Egypt to see if any of them are still alive. He doesn't tell Jethro what happened at the mountain. Some experiences cannot be reported. They can only be lived toward. Moses walks back into Egypt. Think about what that requires. He is returning to the country that issued a death warrant for him. He is returning to the palace that raised him as a son and then tried to have him executed. He is returning to a people, his people, who the last time he tried to help them told him he had no authority over them. He is 80 years old. He has a staff. He has a stammer. He has a message. He has God. The brothers meet after 40 years. The text says Aaron kissed him. They go together to the elders of Israel. Aaron speaks. Moses performs the signs.
The God of Abraham has heard your cry. He has seen. He has sent someone.
And the people, these people who have been waiting for 400 years, who have groaned under a weight so heavy they've almost forgotten what it felt like not to carry it. They believed. They bowed their heads and worshipped. Then Moses and Aaron go to Pharaoh.
This is the most powerful man alive. Ramesses II, if the conventional identification is correct, has been ruling Egypt for decades. He has built temples to himself at Abu Simbel so enormous they will still be standing in the 21st century.
Your Majesty, 2 men request an audience. They claim to be sent by the God of Israel.
Does not speak.
Moses and Aaron stand before him and say, "The God of Israel says, let my people go, so they may hold a festival in the wilderness." Pharaoh says, "Who is the Lord that I should obey him? I don't know this God, and I will not let Israel go." Then, and this is the cruelty that defines the man, Pharaoh makes the Hebrews' workload worse. They were making bricks with straw provided by the empire. Now they must gather their own straw and still meet the same daily quota. The Hebrew foremen are beaten when the quotas aren't met. They come to Moses, they come to Aaron, and they say, with the bitterness of people who have just discovered that hope is sometimes crueler than resignation, "May the Lord look on you and judge you. You have made us obnoxious to Pharaoh. You have put a sword in his hand to kill us." Moses turns to God and asks the question that anyone honest would ask. "Why did you send me? Since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble on this people."
Why? Why did you send me? Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name.
"And you have not rescued them at all," God says. "Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. Now you will see." What happens next is not random. Every plague is a targeted dismantling. Egypt worships the Nile as a god. Happy, the god of the inundation, the source of all life. The first plague turns the Nile to blood. Not metaphorically. The water becomes unusable. The fish die. The smell rises over the delta like a second sky.
The water, it won't clear. I've been standing here since dawn. It won't clear.
Pharaoh's magicians match it. His heart hardens. Frogs. Heket, the frog goddess of fertility, is worshipped in Egypt. Now frogs invade every surface, every bed, every oven, every kneading bowl. They are everywhere and inescapable, and the goddess they represent has become a curse. Gnats, flies, the livestock die. Boils erupt on human skin, on the skin of Pharaoh's own magicians, who cannot even stand before Moses anymore because they are covered in sores. Hail, locusts, darkness, 3 days of darkness so complete, so absolute, that the text says people could feel it. Ra, the sun god, the supreme deity of Egypt, the god Pharaoh embodies, simply gone. But Pharaoh does not break. This is one of the most psychologically complex portraits in all of ancient literature. Pharaoh is not a cartoon villain.
I am the son of Ra. I have always been.
If he releases the slaves, he admits he was beaten. If he admits he was beaten, he admits he is not divine. If he is not divine, the entire structure, the empire, the temples, the order of the universe as Egypt understands it, cracks. He is destroying his country to protect his identity, and he cannot stop. Through all of this, Moses keeps going back. 10 times he goes to Pharaoh. 10 times he delivers the same message.
8 times, Moses. We've been 8 times. He won't move. How many more? As many as it takes.
He never stops. He never loses his message. A stutterer who can't stop speaking the truth. There may be no more heroic portrait in the ancient world. The 10th plague is different from the others. This one requires preparation. This one requires action on the part of the Hebrews themselves. This one is not something that happens to Egypt. It is something the Hebrews must actively step into or step outside of. Take a lamb, Moses tells them. 1 per household. A year-old male without defect.
Slaughter it at twilight.
Take the blood to Pain and put it on the 2 doorposts' name and on the top of the doorpane of every house where you eat the lamb.
Take its blood and paint it on the door frames, the 2 side posts and the top. Roast the meat and eat it that night, with unleavened bread, with bitter herbs, with your sandals on, with your staff in your hand. Eat it in a hurry, because you will leave before morning. The blood on the doorpost is a signal. When the destroyer passes through Egypt at midnight, it will pass over every house marked with that blood. Every firstborn in Egypt will die, from Pharaoh's heir on the throne to the firstborn of the prisoner in the dungeon.
Every Hebrew family obeys. They paint the blood. They roast the lamb. They eat with their cloaks tucked in and their sandals on their feet, standing at the table, as if already walking.
How long until midnight? We wait. What must happen will happen. Go be with your family.
At midnight. The text says this with the simplicity of a fact. The Lord strikes every firstborn in Egypt. The sound that rises from Egypt that night cannot be imagined. The text tries. There was loud wailing in Egypt, for there was not a house without someone dead. Not a house. Not one. Pharaoh rises in the night. He summons Moses and Aaron in the darkness. And the man who 40 years ago ordered every Hebrew infant thrown into the Nile, the man who 9 times said no, says at last, in the middle of the night, surrounded by the sound of his nation's